as I'm discovering people from all walks of life love their classic cars, and some of them even become friends because of them. Opera singer and pianist Jonathan Vera loves his 20-year-old sports car.
Do I love cars? I've had 48 cars in 36 years. From the good, the bad and the ugly. This, of course, is the good. Particularly the old cars have so much more character than the modern cars that we drive today. All the little buttons and switches, I love all of that. So that's why but I do love speed as well.
Retired Army officer Peter Bell met Jonathan by chance last year when the singer happened across this tiny parish church during a Sunday morning service with no organist.
It was a lovely summer's day. The door opened and in walked this figure and sat down. And when we started saying the first hymn, because we hadn't got an organist, this strong voice boomed out and we realised there was someone special in our midst.
But eventually, and after a lot of persuading, I said, yes, look, I can play. So we went up and I started playing. I said, where's the organ? They said, turn it on. They said, it is on. It was left here in about 1835. It's one of those pedal ones. I'd never played one of those before. And I played Thine Be the Glory, which is and my wife said it's the fastest she's ever sung it, because I just played it and sung it at the same speed. One of those wonderful things. At the end of it, the 7 people there applauded, and I felt, it was a special moment in my musical career.
And the harmonium there has never been played like it before. It literally took the roof off, and it was Jonathan in full flow.
So the service finishes, and my wife comes up and says, there's a man at the back who wants to thank you for the playing. He wants to take us out in his car, his special car. I said, well, okay, but what kind of car is that? And so we come down the steps, and there is the Triumph Gloria 1000, 1934. Unbelievable. We get in it, and glorious indeed she was. So it was a wonderful thing to meet you in that moment, in that church service, and feel the warmth and integrity that you personally have. And I found it personally a great moment to meet you and the car, and we share a faith and we share a love of cars, and your knowledge of cars is wonderful.
In a way, it's the fellowship this has brought, not just the church, the cars, the traditions of life.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Since their first chance meeting, Jonathan has been back to Peter's church in his role as a musical performer.
Oh, it's fantastic to be back.
Jonathan very generously offered to come back and give a concert in this church, a fundraiser for the village. And we had the most magical evening where he sang and told stories for 3 hours. And it really cemented our friendship and uplifted us all.
I sang songs that I'd just literally written, and one of the songs was "Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go." I wrote a new tune to it, put a little chorus to it, and it talks about love that is there through the thick and the thin, through the ups and the downs, through the difficulties, and God's love sustains us through that.
Oh love, it will not let me go. I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thine ocean depths flow may reach a full of thee, may reach a full of thee. Oh, joy seeketh me through pain. I cannot close my heart to thee. I trace the rainbow through the rain and feel the promise is not vain, that morn shall tearless be, that morn shall tearless be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh love that will let me go. Oh, I dare not ask to fly from thee. I lay in dust life's glory dead, and from the ground that blossoms red, life that shall endless be, life that shall endless be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go. Oh, perfect love.
Before our next hymn, we've news of our annual Big Sing recording. This year it's in the newly restored McEwan Hall in Edinburgh on Sunday the 18th of November with a fantastic lineup of performers. To buy tickets, go to our website bbc.co.uk/Songs of Praise or call 0871 220 0260. Calls cost 13 pence per minute plus your network's access charge. Here at the Goodwood Revival there is a wonderful spirit of unity, and our next hymn celebrates that perfectly. It's based on the words from the New Testament in the book of Galatians. In Christ there is no east or west. Everywhere you look at Goodwood Revival, you find magnificent machines that are decades old but still in perfect working order. Now, the same could be said of another famous institution. The children's TV show Blue Peter is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. We've asked current presenter Radzi Chinyanganya to tell us more about it.
Welcome to the Blue Peter studio. Lots going on behind the scenes, as you can see, still going strong after 60 years. And I have to say, however you remember Blue Peter, the faces may have changed, the way we shoot things may have changed, but the values are still exactly the same.
I think Blue Peter has been a success because it always puts children at the heart of everything it does. And we've got amazing presenters that take children on a journey of adventure and a voyage of discovery.
Although it's not a religious programme, it was recently awarded for its coverage of belief, moral and ethical issues.
This is the city in which the Bible tells us Jesus was crucified upon the cross.
Over 6 decades, 37 of us have presented the show.
like something straight out of...
And today I'm with two who, like me, are Christians, Simon Thomas and Tina Heath.
When I joined, it was 1979, and the Blue Peter appeal that year was for Cambodia.
Good fun.
The appeal aimed to raise £150,000 through bring and buy sales, but ended up exceeding all expectations.
And if you've been on tenterhooks like we have for the last few days, here is the final answer, £3 million mark.
The real gift was that everybody could get out there and make a difference.
So on behalf of the people who are all those thousands of miles away in Cambodia, we thank you.
It's just a brilliant magazine programme. It inspires faith in others.
Well, I had the great pleasure of going out to film in the Solomon Islands. We spent 2 weeks on a boat with this religious order called the Melanesian Brotherhood.
And they are hugely important in the Solomons because people respect what they do.
They were incredibly brave men who would go into very dangerous places, but would go as men of God and as Christians and try and bring peace where people were trying to rip each other apart. To be given the opportunity of just being able to explain why, from my point of view, from my faith, this had been an amazing 2 weeks. I love that about Blue Peter.
I suppose a really obvious way that Blue Peter talks about faith is on the Christmas show, the age-old nativity scene.
This has been on Blue Peter for many, many years, and it's packed away very, very carefully every year.
As much a part of any Blue Peter Christmas as a Christmas tree decoration is this. It's been with Blue Peter for over 50 years. And actually that's a chance for me to say, as a Christian, this is what I believe. No filter, no script. It's just authentic. Now, Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus, who Christians like myself believe to be the Son of God. The song coming up next is There Is a Redeemer. It's not quite as old as Blue Peter, but still means a lot. Does it mean anything to you guys?
I love it. I think some songs just endure, don't they? And they endure because they tell the story well.
But those lines at the end, you know, when I stand in glory, I will see his face, and there I'll serve my King forever. That's just, it's almost too much to get your head around, but there is something just wonderfully glorious about those lines.